Hey guys, a quick demonstration. So we put up a bunch of websites in a hurry and then we start going back through and updating contents and stuff on it, right? And then we finally no-indexed it just a few days ago. And so Google's allowed to come and check it out. We pinged it just a few days ago. Now, here's the fun thing. I just grabbed one of them out of the blue, okay? That's just one of them out of the blue. And I went and I looked. And I thought, okay, user actions. All right, there's some guy who came here. I got his IP and he went to this page. Understand your rights after a car accident, okay? And if I click on it, it's telling me that's this page here. So I was wondering, okay, how did you bring this thing up? But then I see, oh, it's talking about being a citizen of Chicago, Illinois. It's important to be aware of your rights. Well, this guy came in from basically Chicago, Illinois. So you know what I'm going to do on some of these websites where it says being a citizen of? I'm going to change it, like being, instead of just Chicago, it's going to be the greater Chicago metro area. But it's no big deal. I mean, that's a picky-ish detail. Here's the real point. Libertyville, Illinois is real close. The IP even tracks to Chicago. And he brought that page up. And I thought, wow, that's cool. So like he could have gone for the phone number right away, except we didn't have a real phone number for him to call. But having said that, I mean, this phone number here is a dummy phone number. I don't even know where it points. I don't even know where it came from. All I know is we're going to change it soon. Because now we're locking in the contract. So we're absolutely changing it. We want to get paid. Now, here's the coolness, though. I thought, okay, this guy found it. I don't know where he found it from. And I went and I did a search. localpersonalinjurylawyers.net. So far, Google is showing 3 of these pages, which is really cool because most of the stuff just came out. And anyway, the oldest version of the page that it's been showing is this one. Understand your rights after a car accident. Really? Really? So, anyway, we built this tool. I just wanted to point this out. Because when we go monitoring, you might be thinking, so what are you going to do? You're going to go do this routine through every single one of the websites to see what it means? That's kind of a lot of work, right? Right. So we build a tool, download tracking data right here. And by downloading the tracking data, guess what it gives us? The data for all the websites that we put in that list. All the domains in that list. We said, here's the list of domains. And we're already starting to track. We're going to put a lot more stuff in here soon. It's going to be like the most scrolled page, and how far down they scroll, like 97.41%. And the most exited section is the content, and what page is it on the index page? And what's the theme? It's this theme here. And what's the count of hits to that page, right? So we are tracking numbers on themes, on pages, and how far people scrolled down and where they exited already into a bulk file. By the way, the website we were just looking at was this one, right? personalinjurylawyer.assist.com. The most scrolled page there is only the index for only 19% of the way. Okay, so even then, that had a potential buyer right on the page. Somebody who did a search, saw the page like a nationwide page, but it happened to be in his area, and started reading. And that is cool. That's the beginning of how all this happens, right? So as we get these phone numbers up, some of those guys are going to call. In the meantime, we're going to get a lot more pages indexed by creating a lot more pages on these websites for all the topics that can bring people in anyway. A lot of doorways into the pages, right? The point I'm making is this. We can go through 100 websites at once. Where do you think we go from here? We start tracking stuff like most watched video. We don't have it yet. We don't have videos on the web pages. And we may not in this case, not for these. But having said that, we're going to track as much stuff as we care to track so that we can have our monitoring be based on show me the minimum, show me the maximum, and tell me the average. And stuff like point out the most often exited section across the board or whatever it is that we want. And so we're going to be able to see how people act and react to it. And we're going to be able to train the data based on the results. And for the people who have the most engagements, let me point that out. User tracking, right? We do track user engagements. Engagement score in this case is 0 because the guy didn't click anything. Except he landed on the page, he started reading, and that was it. That's okay. I mean, the page did not give him a phone number. He was probably looking for one by the time he was done reading. where he called the phone number and it was not a real phone number. We'll fix that. But what's my point? The engagement score, we're going to capture that. So as engagement score goes up for certain pages and certain actions, okay? And same with the scrolling, because we track user scrolls, how far down the page they scroll, right? 95% of the way down, 93% of the way down, 7% of the way down, 6% of the way down, 59% of the way down. We're going to track all that. So as we track those things, right, that helps us build the models of what's working best on which theme, right? Is it the tele theme? It can only be compared to other tele themes, right? Anulas can only be compared to other anulas, right? Autorex to only another autorex and all the other autorexes. But then we take the best stats and we rearrange the pages based on the best stats so that we change them and upload those commands to affect all those websites suddenly. So wherever we find ROI is the best from week to week, say it's here, say that was the highest ROI, then for all of the Anula templates, right, we literally take the stats, and there's going to be more, that's the whole point, that make this what it is, that make this thing rock, and we're going to duplicate all those, all the section arrangements and stuff, and the wording that's in and which video is being shown. And we get to run that back through all the other anulas for the pages that are of the same purpose. Okay? So we know how to track that too. So what's your takeaway from this? Two things. One, it doesn't matter which of these websites belong to you, right? As we do our tracking, whichever website performs the best in that county, right? That's not your county, it's somebody else's county. But for all the cansters, right? Wherever the best canster performs, that's going to get copied to your projects. Wherever the best Pafoxen performs is going to get copied over. All these things get copied over in such a way that it is a cross-pollination. The more people that buy these positions, the more these we get to put out. The more we put out, the more rich everyone gets, because they all have their own cones of performance, and they start to push other websites down and take their spots that are out there already. Other guys, competitors. And so as you guys are buying more and we're saturating more, wherever the best results come in from anyone's pages, from anyone's templates, it gets copied over. So your websites get a pick-me-up from the other guys who buy into this. That was the first takeaway. What's the second takeaway? The industries that we're putting everyone in is accident attorney right now, and alcohol, drug, and abuse rehab. They both operate identically. As a matter of fact, as we move forward, all of DML will do that. Wherever a bunch of people are pulling their investments in, they're going to get to ride high, because the websites get to gossip to each other about who's getting the best scores and how, and then share that information and redo themselves to aim for the same top ROI, template by template, page by page, county by county, and that means you earn faster. That's what you do when you go to decryptmyleads.com and you claim this position at the top of the page and you go through the process and you buy in. You get both of those if you're doing that in the next 5 days, but from this recording. But exactly what I'm describing right here is what we're building right now. It will be done in all respects, I'm sure, by the end of the week. How's that for nuts? All right.